What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be going over my week 5 game of RUPL, and this week I'm playing Umbry, and I'm using this Reflect plus Light Screen team made by Sensei Axu, and it's a very dangerous team with a lot of different sweepers, and it has one of my favorite Pokemon, Zatu. And the main idea of the team is just to spam setup sweepers and try and get a win just by pure hyper offense. So it's really fun because you're essentially just using wall breaker after wall breaker and trying to get a sweep, and that makes the game's really dynamic and it's a lot of fun to play with. So at team preview, actually, I'm thinking that the matchup is pretty bad. Like nothing wins outright, but Incineroar can intimidate pivot versus my entire team. It hard walls Poltergeist too. There's a Scarf Flygon to revenge kill me. And then when I saw Cobalion plus Metagross, I knew Cloyster was walled too. So I really had a tough time with the matchup. So I had to make a plan to actually figure out a way to actually get through. So my idea was that I can try and use Flygon and Necrozma to try and break through, because the way I can deal with the Scarf Flygon is by forcing it into an outrage and revenge killing it with Cloyster. So I figured if there was some way I could force the Flygon to come in and force it to attack, that's the main can make progress by removing that first. So my plan was to basically use my Flygon to try and open up some holes and force a revenge kill, and then from there I can try and make some more progress. So at turn 1, I get the lead right because basically Raikou matches up well versus most of my team. So I basically decided, okay, I'll go Flygon just to counter lead that and then go from there. So I decided to just Dragon Dance because Raikou can't touch me. And then she goes hard Flygon, and I basically know that it's Scarf Flygon at this point. So I'm thinking Outrage doesn't two-hit KO Cloyster, and that she's going to be forced to Outrage versus my Flygon, which is what I thought. But what ended up happening was she made a good play and she U-turned on my switch out, and I think either her plan was to U-turn into Cobalion baiting the Outrage, or she predicted me to switch, but either way, it worked out well for her. So in the process, I lose a lot of momentum here. Raikou comes in, and it has such a good matchup because it can Volt Switch for free versus most of my team except for Flygon. And here, Aura Sphere is free against my Cloyster. Like, I can't really do much versus Aura Sphere because Flygon takes chip, and I really don't want Flygon to get chipped. So what I do is I try to pivot my Poltergeist into the Aura Sphere and then pivot out into Flygon on something like a Volt Switch. So she ends up using Extrasensory to get some chip on Flygon. And at this point, I realized that the reason she went Flygon earlier in the game was she's trying to bait Outrage, right? But the thing is, I don't actually have Outrage. I'm Dragon Claw on Flygon. So my idea was that, okay, she's just gonna go Flygon again, right? So I can get a free kill with Dragon Claw. And that ends up happening, which is huge, because Scarf Flygon was the biggest threat to my team. So, at the beginning I was thinking, I have a bad matchup, I can't beat the Flygon. But right here, when I get the Flygon, I'm starting to think, okay, I have a chance, because the biggest threat is gone now. So she goes Togekiss because Togekiss walls Flygon for the most part. And I try to make an aggressive play. My idea was that she might double switch to Raikou because Togekiss just lets Zatu get up for free. It lets Cobalion in for free. So I thought she might go Raikou to pivot into that and then get some more momentum. So I decided to make a risky play and Earthquake, but it just ended up being a really bad play because my Flygon gets chipped and I get 0 damage off. So I was way too ambitious of a play. I thought I had a good chance with that, but in reality I just wasted a turn. It was a blunder on my part. So now I go into Zatu on the Togekiss and I take some damage, but the main point is that I'm able to get my light screen up, I'm able to get my Reflect up, and then I'm able to T-Wave the Cobalion, which is really, really good. So I use this opportunity to go to Necrozma, and I'm thinking, okay, I have Lumberry on Necrozma, so like Thunder Wave or Toxic isn't a big deal, and I can start setting up right now, and I can even actually win, right? So I have Lumberry, and I set up on the Toxic, and right now the calc is telling me that I have around a 70% chance to kill with Photon Geyser. So I'm thinking, I'm in a good spot right now. But unfortunately, the Cobalion had a lot more defense than I expected. Like, that's only doing 60, which means it had a lot of defense. Like, I was supposed to be doing around 90 to 95, and instead I did 60. So there was a lot of defense, and I didn't really anticipate that at all. I thought, okay, it's a standard Cobalion. So I eat the Toxic, and here I just go for the kill on Cobalion. And I thought about Earthquaking here, actually, because it covers both Incineroar and Cobalion. But I figured, she's probably thinking the same thing too. So if she goes Togekiss on the Earthquake, I'm in trouble. So I decided I'll just play it safe. So I Photon Geyser the Togekiss, I get Chip. And here, I really wanted to predict Incineroar and Earthquake, but I really didn't know if Togekiss was a sack or just a pivot in. So I played it safe again, and I Photon Geyser into the Incineroar. I get Intimidate blocked, and this was the problem with the matchup, because Incineroar, even if I get a sweeper going, there's always a way out by, kind of just pivoting around. And here, I decide to Photon Geyser the Incineroar, mainly because Incineroar is the only thing that walls Poltergeist, right? So I figured there's no way she's going to risk the Incineroar here, so I just took the free kill on Togekiss. And the Togekiss goes down pretty easily. And then next she goes Raikou, and Necrozma can't kill Raikou, it maxes out at 97, so I decide, it's fine, I'll just take my chip. And Necrozma goes down. And right now is where I'm in a really bad spot, because Cobalion loses to Raikou, Flygon is too low because of my blunder, Xatu loses to Raikou, Cloyster loses to Raikou, and Poltergeist is walled by Incineroar, so I don't really have a lot of options right now. So I decided, okay, I'll go Poltergeist and use Poltergeist as like a tool to get my other Pokemon in, because Poltergeist forces Incineroar in, and then I can maybe set up Cloyster, or I can get screens up. So I used Poltergeist as like a tool to get my stuff in. So Volt Switch expected, then Incineroar expected. I smash here just to make sure that, she is going to attack. That's the main reason. I sack Flygon because it's really low anyway. And then I decide, I had a choice here. I could either go Cloyster and set up, or I can go Xatu and try and get some screens up. I didn't want to go Cloyster because if I set up right now, one, I'm risking Toxic on Incineroar, and two, I still need a flinch to actually get through Metagross, so that was not really ideal. I thought, if I can get one more screen up, then go for a Cloyster play, then it'll be a little better for me, because this Poltergeist isn't going anywhere. I can try the same technique again, forcing the Incineroar in and then sweeping with something else. So I get a light screen up, mainly for Raikou. And at this point, I just sack the Xatu, not much I can do. And I go Cobalion here, and I'm expecting the Volt switch into the Cobalion sack. So not really much to do. I just get rocks up, which don't do much, but it's something. I close combat, I get the kill. And here is where something really fishy happened, because, she had a Raikou right there, yet she chose Metagross to revenge the Cobalion. And that makes no sense, because if it's a normal Metagross, all you're doing is letting Cloyster set up after Cobalion dies. So I knew something was wrong, but I didn't really know what was wrong. So I looked through the move pool a little, but I couldn't really see anything. Maybe it's Grass Knot, but I have a light screen up, so Grass Knot isn't enough. So I close combat, I get Chip. I close combat, I get Chip, and then Metagross dies, and again, I knew something is wrong. Like, she wouldn't give me the Cloyster setup for free. I knew something was wrong, but I figured, at this point, there's nothing much else I can do. I just have to hope that she choked, even though I know she didn't. So I go closer and I get hit by this Meteor Beam Metagross, which apparently is to hit Golisopod. So, I got pretty much owned right there. And from there I lost. Yeah. So overall, it was a pretty fun game. Like, I had a lot of fun because the team itself is exciting. And then even though I had a bad matchup, there's a lot of places you can outplay, and that really made the game fun. And then losing to that Meteor Beam, I can't be mad about that. It was an interesting technique, and then yeah, I can't be mad about that at all. So yeah, that was my review of my RUPL game. And if you like this content, you like this analysis type video, or you like RU content, please comment below, like what are your thoughts, and then don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.